Again, please be audible.
Alpha Mahmoud Jallo.
Alpha who?
Mahmoudou Jallo.
Mahmoudou Jallo. Be aware you're on recording in the John Security Office to Bo Wadasa.
Yeah.
Yes. You get LRS, you get LMP, you get LRA, Custom, Financial Crime.
The rest of the entity in the group.
Yeah, Foxo. I'll not call all of you, just call it Foxo, DEA. Every one of all we are present here, Financial Crime, John Security, everybody, FIA. Everybody here, you're on recording. Everyone are on recording. Be aware, we're not forcing you. Nobody beating on you. You're a prime suspect.
Yes, sir.
You're prime suspect, so you're on recording. Now, you don't want to take your phone in your car, right?
Yes.
The money, right? Yes. Along with the illegal tramadol,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Your phone in your car. Now, DEA or any other person put it in your car from John Security. And the security people put it in your car.
Sir, no.
Eh?
No, sir, no.
Then we find it in your car.
Yes, sir.
You get any case against all that will lie on you.
No, sir, no.
So whatsoever we find in your car, it is true, right? So we come here and announce your money. Your person when they put check your money, right?
Yes, sir.
We check it behind you.
No.
And all the money here.
Yeah.
Along with the drugs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, your person. So yeah, for all to announce your money on video recording, photo more you go see a different thing that our John Security do to you. So go ahead, pay attention, cool your temper down, let everybody be present and announce the money. Yeah? Right in your person for transparency, and I want evidence here. Thank you.
Go to the next video now.
So just call the total.
So, John Security can please announce the total.
The money total, the grand total is 1,187,000 United States dollar.
Come again, Chief.
1,187,000 United States dollar. It was found in Mahmoudou Jallo car.
So this is the Mahmoudou.
But he did not declare the money to custom.
Okay.
Along,
Doing search.
we found it through search.
We found it through the routine John Security check. Through the John Security check at Bo Walasa, Grand Cayman County, right at the terminal. We did not go with Sergeant Seashore, but through check, thorough check, how we were able to discover the money and the drugs. So please be aware, you're on recording. You get me?
Good evening, you guys. Good afternoon, good morning. Wherever you're watching us from, well, watching me from for now. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to another edition of the Nightly Exchange. That's how I like to welcome you to another one, to another chit chat, to another friendly conversation, to another, what should I call it? Liberia discussion, and not just Liberia, Africa, and everything. Okay, we are here to talk about the good and bad, ugly of our country, mostly. You know how I like to talk about the good, but nevertheless, when we see the bad, we also have to talk about it. So that's what we come here to do late night when everyone else is done doing their chit chatting. We come here to give you the last chit chatting before you go to bed. And we appreciate you for coming on and watching us, choosing our home platform to do so, to take you to watch before you go to bed. We appreciate it. So please share the show. Please share it and come back and let's talk. While I wait for the guys to join me on here, let's chit chat. Okay. It's been a lot of busy days in my life lately. And in everyone else's. As we all know, I'm pretty sure you guys also had that same had some of those days as well. Busy after work, kids, and you're tired and you have to do some things and you get caught up with time and you can't make it on here. But doesn't mean that we're not thinking about Liberia. We're not thinking about, talking about it, or we're not watching what's going on and praying for our country. We also doing that, but we also have lives to live. And sometimes it get caught up with us, like me lately, a lot. Pray for me, y'all. Please pray for me as you are praying for Liberia. You are praying for Africa. Pray for me as well. So again, have some time on my hands. I think sometimes I feel like the time in the day is like not enough time in it during the day, right? Even though I wanted to go faster when I'm at work, but after work I wanted to rewind so I can have more time to do other stuff. But unfortunately that doesn't happen, right? So yeah, we are here again. Guys, you're just watching that little clip that I play. About the drug thing. I don't know what's with this Sierra Leone and Liberia's border. Like it's always a hot zone. I don't know why they always choose to use that side of to bring drugs in the country. That's a lot of money that was caught on with that guy. Lots of money. $1.8 million. I didn't know you just make good money like that in Africa. Might want to rethink my business. But anyways, that was just a joke. Yeah, it's a lot of money to be traveling with a lot of money like that. I don't know what he was thinking, and what prompted him to check his car, to search his car and find something like that. Oh, thank you, Neri. I appreciate your prayer. Amen. 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 In Jesus' name, I receive it. My brother praying for me. We put it on here. That's what I need. I need that prayer. I need it so badly. And I would pray the same for you too, dear. We all need to pray for each other. We're living in a crazy world now. And we don't know what next, right? We don't know what's going to happen next. We just have on going to bed. We just pray, Lord, protect us and take us to sleep safely and wake us up safely. Protect us and take us out there in the world and bring us home safely to our families, to our kids. It's crazy. A lot of crazy things are going on around the world today. Whoever thought that another African country would be trying to bully its neighbors? There's something new. So, I mean, the world is a crazy place today that we live, and we got to pray for each other. Every one of us, we need it. And I appreciate that prayer. When a lot of people are going through a whole lot, personally, that people don't know, not everybody like to open that camera and sit on Facebook and be public about everything, right? Some people are very private with their personal lives, but and that's how it should be. Not to be sitting on Facebook or social media, putting your personal business to the word and having everybody to chime in and say whatever they want to say, however they want to say it. Well, once you bring it out there, now they become a public thing. So anybody feel like they can jump in and say whatever they want to say. So. And a lot of people are not like that, So prayers for your brothers, for your sisters, for your neighbors in the time we're living in today is very key. Yep. With that being said, let's get back to the show and pray for while we're praying for our country, continents, and everything. Yeah. So back on the drug issue, right? That was a lot of money that was being that was in a car. And I don't know what side of the border he was traveling to. If he was traveling to Sierra Leone or he was traveling to Liberia, I don't know. They said they didn't say interview. It's just that they called him at the border, and that's So this just kind of raised the alarm for me. Like it's gonna like the amount of drugs that have been going to our country and the money people have been making out of these things that make them so that embolden them to keep, traveling with it like that. At that time of the year, in that area, $1.8 million US dollars, and they caught him with some drugs as well. That's a lot of money. If he made that money from drugs, what else would it be, right? But he's a Guinean too. We don't want to, I don't want to make it sound like Operation Hunt Guinea down, stuff like that. That's not what I'm about to say, is not what I'm implying, because you got some Guineans who are not in favor of whatever is going on. And in every country, you have people who sees the wrong and speak on it. And some people heads are just somewhere that you cannot get it out of there, So not everybody. I'm not the kind of person who always says that, oh, go after all of them because one or two persons saying it now. Like when people were saying on the Ghana thing, when people who sits and do and say stuff like that are the ones who are not informed and who never took a step out of their country, and they will probably never, and don't know, they are not educated about how big the world is, a big of a village that everybody, travel in and out of each other countries, and you have a lot of citizens living in your country. They would seem like how I have a lot of your citizens living in my country. They don't know that. They just sit there and talk because they see everybody, like, I guess data is free, cheap. So everybody want to open camera and just start talking. So I don't see that and just go after it as, oh, let's go get them all because somebody stupid from the same country as they're talking city, they're saying this, they're saying that. Let's come and get these innocent people who are it now. But that is to show a Guinean got caught at the Liberia and Sierra Leone border while 500 Sierra Leone just got deported out of Guinea. I don't know if Liberia is next. Right? And that happened. I hate to see what the Sierra Leone would want to do with that if they were the one who caught that guy, right? And it's kind of like putting your citizen at risk because not everybody thinks like Amy. Not everybody will have that, mindset that this guy is innocent, or he's not those people sitting on social media, or he's not part of those people who did this to our people. Not everybody can think like that. They think that because you share the same, like during the war. That's how during our Civil War. That's how a lot of people got killed because people sharing the same tribe with someone. That was that crime. Nothing else. Because they were from the same county as somebody else, so they lost their life or something like that. A lot of people lost their life, and someone losing their life over something stupid like that, to me, I look at it now as, I don't think we should ever repeat that. So that's the same way I look at the whole country going after country beef, and then you got a next door neighbor that from that country that is coming after your country. You say, oh, let me go out there and go to step and go harm them because somebody's sitting on the internet. No, we need to be our brother's keeper. We need to be one Africa and be united. But will that united Africa ever happen when you still have people trying to behave like they're still doing the colonial master's job, to destabilize a region and they're being pushed to do it, or because they're being should I say paranoid, whatever the reasons are. It's just hard to see that happening. This so-called United Africa that a lot of people, or a lot of leaders wants to see. Not everybody. Not so much. So we can only hope and pray for peace. That's all. Unity, we'll keep working on that and keep talking to the man upstairs about that and see how far it goes. But right now, I don't see it. No. And then I think a couple of months ago, we were just talking about one currency. Wait, I think Guinea was among our countries that we were naming that was going to be using our West African currency, right? Yeah, I think they were there too. And the ECOWAS states that were supposed to travel freely, within each other without passport or visa, whatever. I don't know, laissez-passer, whatever we use in Africa. But we've seen another country telling the neighbors, deporting the neighbor as if in Africa we have a country in Africa, or we ever had a country in Africa that did that, to say, oh, they are here illegal, and so we're sending them back. Since I know Africa to be like a free land of what? Like we call it, free land of liberty. As long as you're not causing any problem, so anybody like creating, like committing crimes and doing anything illegal, nobody care about you. What are you, from Ethiopia, or are you from? I mean, at least Liberia. At least I know that for a fact. We are very, peaceful people who welcome everybody. As long as you're there doing nothing but doing your own little thing, got no problem with anybody, not committing any crime whatsoever, you are free to live in Liberia, do your business. So with some of the things that we frown, upon, that they should stop people from doing because you're not citizen, because you're not, from there, because you're an immigrant, because you did, and they don't do it at all. Not in Liberia, at least. In other African countries, they stop, they control and regulate those things. But I don't see what African country just went and pick up a bunch of people, like 500 people, and just put them in truck and said, oh, they are here illegally, so I'm deporting them. Something is up. And I said it the last time, but I have no facts. That's my opinion. And I think the colonial masters are at work. When they want to push somebody button to start some trouble in the region. Hey, don't listen to Emmy. That's my opinion, okay? Don't crucify me for it. We all have our own. But we can only, try to pray for peace and go about it a peaceful way. But something just does not seem right to me. And I don't want to put everything out here before that I think, before I be part of one of those people who trying to incite or do this or do that, because I want a peaceful route as well. I believe our people deserve nothing but peace. If you're looking for your daily bread, you shouldn't be hiding from the bullets. Why are you doing that? You should be able to do it without running from bullets, leaving your home, displays, and all of that. That's what I think. Okay. So I'm waiting for these guys. I don't know what's taking them so long, but so what's been good? I need y'all to tell me what's been happening with y'all. about for Amy busy life that she has talked about. What has your life been like? You know, my life been busy, and I've been also been upset about what I'm talking about. Also, I've been upset. I mean, I'm all for the peaceful route, but it also been upsetting because I feel it's disrespectful what is happening. But we're here. And then we're about our gas prices here too. Jumping through the hoops. I was just paying for gas last month or the month before that. I was paying like 215, 213. Some places was 209, something like that. But now the gas is almost $4 where I at. And then some people are paying almost $5. And less, like a month or less than a month, we're all paying that. So when we see people in our country trying to be political about the gas price right now, and Iran said we just getting warmed up. They said we just getting warmed up. It would make it painful for everybody. That was their promise. But we send it back to center. Okay. But yeah, that has been on my mind. Those two things, Liberia and the whole war with Iraq. No, Iran, not Iraq. Oh boy, calling different country name. Iran has been on my mind as well. That's something out of our control. Like I said, all we can do is to pray for the world we live in now. Pray for our families and friends, pray for our country, pray for our neighbors. And nothing else. You cannot worry yourself to death or something that you cannot control. You don't do that. You don't want to be worried about it and you something else pop up. Make yourself sick or some. It's not good for your health. So only praying you can do. So that's what I've been doing. And I hope you all will join and do that as well. Do it, do it, do it for us. Let God be your walking stick now. That word, and that's something I heard from Liberia, talking to somebody in Liberia. It was so funny when I heard that. Let God be your walking stick, yeah. Like, it was so funny. And I was laughing the whole day. I said, the way you talk about God, it's just so funny. Let God be my walking stick. What do you mean by that? Right? But yeah, it's literal now. Let God be your walking stick today. Let Him take you out there safely and bring you back safely to your family, to your children, to your, whoever. So I have a video to play. I was waiting for everybody else to come on, but I'll play it anyways so we can talk about it. This has something to do with. Anyway, let me not jump the gun. Maybe when you guys watch it, you tell me what you think about it. Let me try and play it. It's really serious. This is something that we've been talking about also. And this is something that has been in the news lately. That people have been thinking about doing it. So we said it wasn't like some other things. It's not a good idea. And it sounds hypocritical when we saying it because it's like you sitting in someone else's country and you got citizenship and you say you don't want somebody, but it's not the same. People will not understand or just want to call it that, but it's not the same. And from this video, you understand what I mean by that. Hold on, let me get this out of here. Let me get this down. Okay. Bear with me, y'all. Okay. Let's watch this video and talk about it. By that time, everybody else will be up.
Where they're going to tell you all much about some of the constraints they are faced here. Madam, welcome to front page.
Thank you. I'm Basa Kamara.
What you have to tell the public?
Concerning the challenges we face with in Nima County,
Yes.
there are lots of challenges we are faced with. But currently, the main one we're trying to discuss, because it's one at a time, it has to do with the Indian nationals. The foreigners are here. They try to honor us. So we had a press conference on it to inform the government or the relevant authority to have a prompt intervention into what we are undergoing.
When you say the foreigners are trying to honor money, what do you mean?
Thank you. The foreigners are undermining us in a way that they want to get us out of businesses. Number one, they are doing retailing, and number two, they will come to a landlord. Like for an example, you are a property owner, you rent your store or a shop. While I am your tenant, they will come to you and say, "Oh, frankly, how much Masa is paying there?" So maybe you say, "Oh, Masa is paying $100." You say, "Okay, but then get Masa out. I'm going to give you $500." I'm just putting it,
Yes.
Okay, understanding a scenario. So you want to say, okay, but then everybody wants profit. Every business person wants to maximize profit. Nobody wants to minimize profit for say operate at an equal level. So definitely they join into the retail business, which is on money and affecting us economically, financially, morally, psychologically. I mean, by every angle is affecting us because the way we get our daily bread to feed our family, to do our things, and even to pay taxes to the government that we will build Liberia.
So if this continues, what's going to happen next?
I can tell you for sure that there will be no business in Ghana because we're going to shut down businesses, including them. Even then, because the child said the market sleep, the child will not sleep. So when you telling me I should not stay, you fire me on my feet for me to not stay, myself, I'll fire you on your boy, you're not sitting. So it'll be 50-50. Everybody will go with a wound on it. So we're going to shut all businesses down. If it will take as long as it will take for the relevant authority to come and intervene, we will be on it.
Okay, so we are she's Madam Justina Yolmi, the owner of Justina Bar and Restaurant, one of the permanent business area in the city of Ghana. Madam, welcome. What you have to tell from Coach Africa?
Yeah, as my colleague rightly said, we had a press conference yesterday concerning the things the Indians are doing to us by selling retail in our country and making businesses that they're not supposed to be according to commerce law. But when you go to them, they will tell you, first of all, we got permits from commerce before we do this business. We're not doing it at our own. So you can get back to your government, they will better explain it to you. So we are calling on the same government to come and reassess their document that they gave them. If it is true that they gave them permit to sell retail, like Indian guy on Sacramento Road, the guy can sell as down as 1 pack of Vita. When you tell him, he will insult you. So now how everyone on there drinks, someone they're selling 1 bottle of wine. I'm selling 1 bottle of wine, then you selling 1 bottle of wine at the same price that I'm selling. And you know our Liberian people, they like color white. Anything white men tell them they believe it more than the black men. They would prefer buying the item from the white man, the same price the black man is selling it for because they feel say their own is value. Even more. Their own sales sometimes can be even more because I think the people they are selling from my yard for $350. And the Liberians are selling it the same $350. Why it should be that way? Why Indian men should sell a yard of floma? Why they should sell a pack of milk? Why they should sell single light bulb? Why they should sell a piece of sea raw? And we learn that certain product they want to manufacture the syrup and distribute it in Liberia. You will be distributor, you will be wholesaler, then you will be retailer in our own country. We just sitting down watching it, and if to say we can't do nothing about it, and the frustration is just dreaming of them.
No, it's troubling us.
You see, so we are really crying. We are telling the government to come in and intervene. If not so, in a few years time, you will not see no Liberian business existing on the road. We will be spectator. And it will bug right down to the government because we will go back to the government and be crying on them.
Because government boasting about Ganta getting maybe popular in terms of business and social activities. And you are threatening to shut down your business. Don't you know it will be maybe a disaster one way or the other?
If they don't come in, we will shut down businesses because if you said it, you're not getting profit and you need to meet up with your needs, what else do you want to do? We are left with no option.
Well, just not you mean any other thing that closing remark for your end before we go to Massa.
Yes. So my last word here is the government should come and intervene and tell the Indians and the Lebanese what they're supposed to sell in this country. If that wholesale they came to sell, they should sell the people that swear them, selling one bag of sugar, selling one bag of flour, selling one carton of juice. How you expect me to sell?
So you can buy from them and you can yourself.
We can we sell.
So when you're buying with the same price you're selling, the same price they do the
Yes,
same.
and the same price is selling it behind us. When
So instead of people going to their place,
when they come at first, they say they're doing wholesale. But that wholesale, it can't work because they place that local area. How many persons you see here to buy in bulk besides the business people? So after we turn our back, the same way we buy from them, and the same way they will go and offer the same price to the retailer. The same way the building material people, the same way they can sell the chair to all wholesale, and the same way when one buyer go there, they will sell the chair the same rate because they want to make the money. Because they surprise us with the rent, so they want to get the money and get their rent from all of it.
your name again?
My name is Justina Yomi, the Vice Chairperson for the Ganta Business Association.
Thank you. The communication here for Ganta Business Association. Madam Mansa, any other thing that closing remark or additional information?
Frankly, just in addition to, before concluding, I will share two experiences before meeting with you. That I went to do my business renewal because every year I got to do renewal. And my certificate is supposed to be expired on the 30th of this month. So I walked in at the ARA office there. I met some business people who are currently out of business because of the same challenge we discussing here. The people met me, they said, we can be afraid to take the airways, we can be afraid to express ourselves because we don't know the way out, we don't know the channel to follow of you. All your continue this point because we are out of business for the same reason. They said they were occupying a place, they were paying $1,500. So the Indians came and then they went to the landlord put us up because the Indians paid them $3,500. Because of $2,000 addition, they put them outside. So what become of the Liberians? That's my question. What become of them? When they were getting their daily bread, sustaining their family, they are now out of business. What become of them? So these are some of the reasons I want to believe that why you see the high increment in drugs, importation. These are some of the factors. I sat down by myself and analyzed that these are some of the factors. Because if, for example, Indian American and one of mommy and see I don't have any means of doing better, I said, but let me get into drugs better. Well, I was saying to my wife, be giving it to a poacher and they've been taking it. So the relevant authority has to come in, not just to go and tell them, they got to stay strong and warn them if there will be where we all will meet and we discuss it that the Indian community will sit down and we the Liberian business committee, we sit and we all discuss that the Indians, if they want to come Ghana or any part of Liberia to go do business, when they see the land vacant and no one is occupying, they got all right to go there and take the land, lease it, and develop it. But if they come and see a Liberian person occupying a place, and then suddenly the Liberian person move for them, we will be security on security. I can show you, I can give you the assurance. We will be monitoring that. We're not sitting and we're not letting to just go to sleep. We'll be monitoring anywhere we used to see a Liberian person standing, and later on we see Indian male or any other national for that matter there. We want to inquire what the cause, except if the person Liberian male or woman was standing there decide to turn the place over. That was no problem. But we see any foreigner there occupying that or Liberian male or woman was occupying previously. We do the investigation and that person will not manage the brand. That person will not have peace. We will make sure we will make that Indian or that national to leave and go to different countries to go do business. Because it's friendly to be frank. Nowhere in the world these things happen. The government protect their citizens. Right here, Ghana. Even Guinea right here. Only Liberia these things happen. The people, our leaders are not in our interest, but you have no means. They want to get kind of fool or put it there. They say you're there for your own. And they kind of left they tweet to us. But we can tell them this straight. We will stand for our right. If we will die for our right, we're willing to die.
So
for the truth, we will stand for the truth.
But the Indian people or the foreigners that are coming to do business also.
You can't do business, but now I'm a detriment. You can't do your business in peace. Like for example, where I am, okay, I pay utility tax. The landlord said I should pay 3,500 because Indian men want a place. So now they say I'm gonna pay 4,000. But I told them, I said I can't pay more than 3,500. And when I move, I can't pay more than 3,500. That's where we are now. Because you not coming moving to go for Indian men money go bail abroad and be there. So except they want us that we should be spectators in our own country, we should be beggars in our own country, we should be on liability on the government for ever and ever. Amen. They are children and suffer it. They suppress us directly and indirectly. I said that what they want to tell us. But the government that I know that want to build a bureau, law a bureau, think a bureau, that kind of government will not allow us to struggle us until we die in the process. That's what the government wants for us to do, for us to die. So before we die, we will fight. Because you don't want willing us to death. The willing us will fight for survival. So until we die, we will fight for our fight. But I can tell them for free that if you can't in peace, we will live in peace. But if you can't in pieces, Newton tell law of motion will take the course. It says that to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So if the Indian people can't in peace, will be in peace. But if they can't in pieces, I can say for sure they will be in pieces. They will find us because we'll put it in real jugo. There will be no peace for them.
So there you have it, right? I mean, it's not funny, but her ending was a little bit of, humor in there. She went Juba with Prophet Key for Nima. But this is what we've been saying, right? The whole thing about giving non-Negro citizenship. And like it has been said many times, the Freeman did it this way because the white or non-Negroes, because any people are not white, they will have the upper hand over the locals, the Liberians, or the citizen in the country. So later, when I saw former President Sirleaf going to the House of Representatives to, give that little presentation about it's time that we change from the whole non-Negroes are allowed and this, that. I agree. But to what extent, right? So, I mean, how are you going to protect your people while you're doing it before you do that? There has to be something put in place. Because the same thing that the framers was afraid of last time when they did the Constitution and put that in there, that situation still exists today. And I was having a conversation with someone when she went into the house and gave that presentation. And a lot of people, Liberians are racist. No, Liberians work on everybody. And we see now over and over again. But if they put some, system, some little system in place, even though it's not perfect, from this video is evidence to that, but it's better a little bit than just making it broad and wide and open like that, right? Those things that the framer was afraid of, those things still exist today. Liberians are poorer. They are struggling in their own country today. You go and give non-Negro citizens and give them every right that the citizens, the born Liberian has. What do you expect? Like from that video we just seen, they're not even citizens yet. They haven't even done that yet. And these are the things. This is just one story that we're hearing right now. But this is things. This is just one. It is all over. Not just Ganta alone. It's in Monrovia. It's in every part of the country. And the people, the leaders, are the one helping these non-citizens, these different nationals to undermine their people. The laws are there, they're on the book, but they're not using it. And when you go to these people, the citizens go and try to stand up for themselves, they tell them straight up, your people are the one who gave us these, gave us the right to do this. Go talk to them. How do you think these people would be so brave to be saying stuff like that if it wasn't true? I don't think so. These are some of the things that we are afraid of. When we talk about no, it's not a good idea. There should be some kind of clause, something put in place before you do that. You cannot leave it the way it is and just say, open door policy, say everybody equal. Now, people, when you say, people say, oh, you've been a hypocrite because you said in other people's country, you're citizen, you're tested. People have laws. On the book, they have the laws and things that they have, their rules, and everything, it works. Okay? There are certain things you cannot do. Not Liberia, it's not like that. So you have to think about the people when you're talking about stuff like that. Give Indian man citizen, let's say Indian man, because you were talking about the Indian and Lebanese people in contact. Give them citizen equal rights, equal to the people than right now. They have more resources for businesses. They are doing it to them right now. They're undermining them. How can a person be the supplier? How can a person be the manufacturer? The person be the supplier, wholesaler, then they be retailing. Okay, competing with these locals that go and buy from them to come out and resell it retail to get something for themselves, for their children to be able to go to school, to pay their rents, to do all of that. And then you're competing with them. Now, I'm strangling someone there. And they have more capitals for businesses. These people don't. Some of them just have like maybe $100, $200. They want to flip that. And they try to go get these wholesale things and come to sell it, to flip that $100 or $200 to get to $500. And it's Indian man already got thousands of dollars, 10,000, 15,000. He can buy whatever she's sitting to sell. If he tells, and you know how our people are so, they're not there for each other. As long as the so-called white men, they call them white men, they call them white people. As long as they ask them, oh, I will give you this and so amount. You would think somebody with a so-called Christian, a principle, Christian nation, but they don't. They just open their mouth and say it, but they don't walk the walk. You're so much Christian, you believe your country was made on that principle. Why don't you have no integrity? Why don't your conscience beat you up and say, no, I cannot do to this person? I already signed a contract with this person for 3 years for this amount. I can't go to them because you want to give me twice that amount or 3 times that amount and go get that person out. That would not be right. They will never do it. And this is why these people do all of this, all those things they do in the country. That's why they do it, because of people like that. So you imagine any man having 20, hundreds of thousands of dollars US, and a poor Liberian woman like that have only $500. If the Indian man want to buy the whole front view or whole store, he has the upper hand to do that. What become of her? If he has that same right as her, what become of? These are some of the reasons why we said no, it's not a good idea. It should stay the way it is. Nobody bothering them. They're still doing their businesses. They're still making money. It should stay that way. If you can't put anything in place to protect the Liberians in their own country, then you shouldn't do that, because you will be killing them. They're already dying from what they got now, because the laws and so-called labor laws and whatever they got on the book is not working. They're not implementing it. They're not enforcing it. So it's not working for them. They're still crying. Imagine if you give those people citizenship and give them equal right like them. You know, so when I saw this video today, I was looking at it and said, these are some of the things we're talking about. And people who don't understand, I don't care. It's not about me. It's not about, I have the hand I have a lot to do something to do that. But Liberians in a country who's trying to use just $50 or $100 to flip to do something. We always talking about, some of them are lazy, they don't want to do anything, but some of them are really serious. These are some of the situations that exist. These are some of the obstacles that they have to deal with that is not allowing them to grow. Because if you had to go to a store and buy a wholesale, thinking that you'll come out here and flip it and add a little 50 cents on it or $1 on it, and then the guy that sold it to you, the wholesale to you, he's there selling the retail too, the same price. And anyone who wants to buy retail, they go in there, they can't deny them, because you said, oh no, this is only wholesale in here. Then they will go to the guy who's buying retail. The wholesale for you to go and do a retail. They will now go to him to go buy. But no, wholesale, come on. Retail, come on. How fair is that? And then now you're going behind them, undermining them to try to get them out of a store that you've seen, and maybe you've seen customer coming to them. And then you say, oh, this spot would be good for me. You go to the owner of that store and say, oh, how much the person pay you? When they say, oh, $500, oh, but I can get you $1,500. Get her out of there. You see what they're dealing with? And they haven't even given them the citizenship. They haven't even given them the equal rights yet. They already have the upper hand. So this is what someone else said, no, it's not a good idea. I think it should stay the way it is. Just for reason like this. That's why I play this video. For maybe some people don't think of like me. Yeah, it is a good thing. People say, oh, they will come in and build developments. And so there are certain people. You have to do that. You have to have some kind of laws in place and enforce it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying shut the door and throw the key away. No, that's not what I'm saying. But you cannot just leave it the way it is. It's going to be the recipe for disaster. It's already is. You're not protecting your citizen as it is already. And then you will leave them like that and add another, trouble over it. It's not a good idea. This is not a good idea. No. It's going to be too much. And what they're saying, if it's true, they need to investigate it. If it's true, they need to put an end to that. They need to stop it. The labor minister needs to enforce these things. If these people are not supposed to be doing wholesale and be doing retail and be doing, they have to enforce it and stop strangling the people like that. They really do have to do something about that. You know, they can't just leave them to just do whatever they want to do whenever and think that it's okay. This is really, really bad. The people are struggling as it is, and the ones who are putting the, boots on to do something, to turn around for them and their families, you can't be strangling them at the same time. They have to have something in place, and stuff like this scares some of us from or signing up on a give non-Negroes citizenship. No. I'm not racist. I'm sorry. My grandmother, I'm not going to say it. My grandmother was from Germany. My father, for what's your territory? Josh. I am not racist in any ways, but there is no way I'm going to sit there and say, yes, it's okay for you to get non-Negro, not just any non-Negro, but Lebanese and Indian people. They already treat our people as slaves, like because they feel like they have money and they come in here, they're doing their businesses and they're doing stuff, so they treat them like they're already, almighty and treating them unfairly in their own country already. Then you give them citizenship over them and give them all of the rights that they have. It's gonna be a disaster. I'm sorry. From watching this video, that just confirmed my fear for them. And that's what I said, that what the frame of fear back then is still exists today for our people, and even worse. I don't know if you were watching the video, George, welcome, but I played a video. I don't know if you watched it.
No, I didn't, Amy. Sorry. I'll just go back home. I was able to watch it.
There was a video of this lady explaining what's going on. Maybe I should play a little bit more. Let me just
please. That would be great. Yeah.
You can go from there. Okay, let's start from there.
They're going to be telling us much about some of the constraints they are faced here. Madam, welcome to Front Page.
Thank you, Ambassador Kamara.
What do you have to tell the public?
Concerning the challenges we face with in Nima County,
Yes.
There are lots of challenges we are faced with. But currently, the main one we're trying to discuss, because it's one at a time, it has to do with the Indian nationals. The foreigners are here. They try to honor us. So we had a press conference on it to inform the government or the relevant authority to have a prompt intervention into what we are undergoing.
When you say the foreigners are trying to honor people, what do you mean?
Thank you. The foreigners are undermining us in a way that they want to get us out of businesses. Number one, they are doing retailing, and number two, they will come to a landlord. For an example, you are a property owner, you rent your store or a shop. While I am your tenant, they will come to you and say, "Oh, frankly, how much Massa is paying there?" So maybe you say, "Oh, Massa is paying $100." You say, "Okay, but then get Massa out. I'm going to give you $500." I'm just putting it,
Yes.
Okay, understanding a scenario. So you go to say, okay, but then because everybody wants profit. Every business person wants to maximize profit. Nobody wants to minimize profit for say operate at an equal level. So definitely they join into the retail business, which is on money and affecting us economically, financially, morally, psychologically. I mean, but every angle is affecting us because they will get our daily bread to feed our family, to do our things, and even to pay taxes to the government that we will build Liberia.
So if this continues, what will happen next?
I can tell you for sure that there will be no business in Ghana because we're going to shut down businesses, including them. Even them, because the child said the child will not sleep. So when you telling me I should not stay You fire me on my feet for me to not say myself, I'll fire you on your boy, you not say that. So it'll be 50-50. Everybody will go with a wound on it. So we're going to shut all businesses down. If it would take as long as it would take for the relevant authority to come and intervene, we will be on it.
Okay, so we are she is Madam Justina Yolmi. The owner of Justina Bar and Restaurant, or a permanent business area in the city of Uganda. Madam, welcome. What you have to tell from Coach Africa?
Yeah. As my colleague rightly said, we had a press conference yesterday concerning the things the Indians are doing to us by selling retail in our country and making businesses that are not supposed to be according to commerce law. But when you go to them, they will tell you, first of all, we got permits from commerce before we do this business. We're not doing it at our own. So you can get back to your government, they will better explain it to you. So we are calling on the same government to come and reassess their document that they gave them. If it is true that they gave them permit to sell retail, like Indian guy on Sacred Road, the guy can sell as down as 1 pack of Vita. When you tell him, he will insult you. So now how everyone on there drinks some money, selling 1 bottle of wine. I'm selling 1 bottle of wine, then you selling 1 bottle of wine at the same price that I'm selling. And you know our Liberian people, they like the color white. Anything white men tell them, they believe it more than the black men. They would prefer buying the item from the white man, the same price the black man is selling it for, because they feel say their own is value even more. Their own sales sometimes can be even more because I think the people they are selling so much for $350, and the Liberians are selling it the same $350. Why it should be that way? Why Indian men should sell a yard of floma? Why they should sell a pack of milk? Why they should sell single light bulb? Why they should sell a piece of syrup? And we learn that certain product they want to manufacture the syrup and distribute it in Liberia. You will be distributor, you will be wholesaler, then you will be retailer in our own country. We just sitting down watching it, and if to say we can't do nothing about it, and the frustration is just dreaming us down. You see, so we are really crying. We are telling the government to come in and intervene. If not so.
Okay, so I want to play the whole thing, Josh. I think you get the idea, right?
Yeah. I got an idea, Amy. I got an idea. So, Amy, my take is a terrible thing, and I think we have this policy called the Liberianization policy in Liberia, which is supposed to differentiate between who can sell what,
Yeah, I think that's what you were talking
and
about.
retail. Yeah, retail. Most retail should be for Liberians, because the last time I was in Liberia was in 2000, when I lived in Liberia, 2003-4. I was living around 72nd Junction, and there was a place there that the Indian people opened a very big cold storage, right? And they were selling fish from there, but then they started selling ice cream from there as well. The government came and told them that ice cream business was reserved for Liberians. So they stopped, but still they used to bring boys, Liberian boys, give it to them to go sell it.
The boy quicker more than
Yeah. Hey, so we're not selling. I always sell it for us now. So, I mean, there are so many impediments for Liberian businesses. And even now, Amy, in Liberia, to go to Liberia Bank, to get a business loan is 25% interest.
That's a lot.
And guess what? Only 2 years. So, and some of the even the lenders will tell you, if you're taking $100 from us as loan, we will give you $75. Whoever they take our interest out, take that one and bring our money back every month you pay. You know what I mean? So it cuts down everything.
How are they supposed to grow?
That's the thing, Amy. It's challenging, and that's why businesses in Liberia are only done with how they call it. Only the foreigners can do business, because what happens is that the people can have leverage with the banks, and some of those problems we cannot say is solely on the banks. But the issue is that our Liberian society is so volatile, right? So even if you even went to Liberia and say, okay, I want to loan money to business people, because it's so volatile, you will not get your money back. Yeah, you will not get your money back. Some people just take your money. Yes, some people just take your money, then they go sit there and say, no, yeah. You will not see them again. I mean, you will run, you get tired. So that means your money that will get lost in that process, you will recuperate from having high interest on your money to get your money back. You see it? If you're lucky, nobody ran away to Sanaye, you will still get that money back, right? But if you're not lucky, they put that run away to Sanaye, when you calculate all the interest you have on your money, you still get your money back, right? So that's why the interest, because a banks can loan on risks. You know what I mean? They can base their interest on the risks that they want to take. But again, our government has to do a lot, in that they have to prevail on these businesses to stop doing retail when they are doing, wholesale at the same time. Liberian business should be prioritized when it comes to retailing. And that's what it is. But again, they will not want to look at that. The only thing they want to look at is to, remove Yaga Koloba. That's what they want to look at.
That has nothing to do with Yaga Koloba.
But Amy, those are the important things that Liberian people crying for. They cry about Yaga Koloba saying what he said. But the lawmaker will not look at that. They cry for them to bring it back so we can pay them enough money so they can move Yaga Koloba. While the Liberian people, businesses are not moving.
So, George,
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
This also scared me, right? Like I was saying before you came. Remember a couple of weeks ago, former President Sirleaf went to the House to give a speech, right? About giving non-Negro citizenship. Yeah, it's about time that we pass that now and all of that and this and that. And these are some of the problems. These are some of the reasons why the framework was afraid to do that. Because these non-Negroes, they had, the resources over our people. They have more money. They have what the video. When I saw this video, that's exactly what my mind went on, right? And said, "This is why this is a bad idea." I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, look, I'll have a very different view on that.
A lot of people,
Diversity brings about competition and growth.
I agree.
But there is a downside to that as well. Just like every other plan, every policy got its own negatives, right? The negative would be that Indian man now will be Liberian, and he can sell whatever he wants to sell.
That's not a negative.
No, that's a negative because they'll be doing retail. And Liberian people be doing retail. You know what I mean?
Yeah, already.
So you see that the negative
doing it. So what the hell?
Exactly. They're already doing it. So the thing is that you will find out that the negatives would be we don't want to buy land, we are Liberians, we buy land way in Kawe. And then on Ashmore Street, Broad Street will be so Lebanese people. And you can't say anything because they are Liberians. You see it? So we'll be second class in our own country. And guess what? And guess who will sell the land to them? Us.
Exactly. Those are the negatives.
So the positive. The positive is that our country will be developed. Because guess what? If I know that I'm a citizen of this country, it means I will invest there. I will not take all my money and send it to Lebanon. I will start building a good house where my people will be comfortable to live in. That said, this is our house, this is our home. You know what I mean? They'll start constructing Lower Ivory Coast. Yeah, that's the major positive.
Yeah,
and that positive cannot be. Guess what? It cannot be overridden by any negative. Because guess what, Amy? No, Amy, listen, Amy. Let me tell you a typical example. The reason why our banks don't have money to loan us, or which even the rate is high, is because when the Lebanese people made the money, they send it straight to Lebanon. Is it?
Do you know how much we pay in our country? They must have worked on it.
And that's why the country is like that, because they know that they don't have any rights in our country. They are building their homes back home. Just like you and myself, we oversee, but we say Liberia is our home, and we send all our money back home to build our land, to buy our land, to do this.
You just contradicted yourself. So
no, not.
We are not investing the money here, all of our money here, because we feel like, we are citizens of these countries now. We know we just those are just opportunity cards that we are holding, right? But where is your heart? Where is your something? Where do you talk about going all the time? What do you talk about selling cars? What do you talk about going businesses, building house, doing this? Liberia.
No, yeah, definitely. And you're right, Amy. You're right. But
What you're thinking it would be is not necessarily going to be like that. And these are the negatives, like what this lady is talking about right now. These ladies are talking about. Those are the negatives I'm looking at. Other than that, if not for the suppression of Liberians and giving it, like the other money that's going on now and making them less of a Liberian or more, should I say prone to, what is the word I'm looking for? But you get it. It's not making them more vulnerable to things like this happening to them. What else would it be? Now, I don't have any fear of, different people coming and being citizens. This is the only reason. This what they are talking about right now, what they are going through right now. That's the only reason why I have a different view on that. It said, I don't have a problem with them being there, but they are being treated like this already. Imagine if they all have that rights and they, like you said, you will be where in a car, I don't know how far car is or whatever, and everywhere else that they are. Okay, let's say they were releasing somewhere around the road to do their businesses. So they have the upper hand, they have the money. Another person, how crooked that all Liberians are trying to be now. The so-called store owners and land owners, then right? They will come, they fleeced the land 5 years ago, then they come and telling the person, because somebody come and said they will get in 10,000 and that person bought it for 1,500, then they won't move the person from there and conniving with the court to break people's homes down because the owner's trying to get more money. What about you sold that land 5 years ago is no longer yours, right? A lot of that would be going on because of that. And that's my fear, not because of anything.
Amy, I understand your fear, and it's quite justified. However, for a country to develop, the indigenous people are always suppressed and pushed aside. That's the risks. It's all over the world. The America you are sitting down in, they got the indigenous there, the rare Indies, they are there. Those people, they gave them all the opportunity. They say go to school free and go start business free, but they still way at the bottom. Here in Australia, we got the original Australians. The people get it land. Amy, they can sleep in the bushes. So you always be marginalized. It's at the expense of the development of the country. So that trade-off. You either want your people to be like that or your country develop. And guess what? The more the country develop, the more opportunity that come. But guess what? The indigenous people are always marginalized when it comes to development. So that's what I say. It's a trade-off. Either you take the one or you leave it. So if we want to choose to say Liberians, should not accept, the people of color, because now Cameroonian can become a Liberian. Any black person, even when you're born in America, but you're black, you can become Liberian. But we are looking at white people now, right? Lebanese. Indians are black people, I can say, because I don't think they're white people. They are black people, They are not white, But they are not Negro. You get me? So it's a different thing, it's tricky. So the thing is that, Amy, my argument is that should we hold on to this and allow our country to stagnate? Because let me tell you, for a typical example, and I'm going to leave the Liberian mentality. If you go to Singapore, all the big buildings you see, they're all for Lebanese people. Whether they marry Liberian woman or they marry Liberian woman, but all the buildings are of Lebanese people, all people of different color to us. So if you look at it and put it on the bigger picture, if we give people opportunity, they will not do more and our country will look developed. But guess what? It will be up and down. When they want going up, it will be inversely proportional. When they want going down, they want to come up. Easier? So they cannot be balanced.
Who's going to be on that scale?
The more opportunity you get to the white people, they will invest in the country to get skyscrapers, but the Liberian people will suffer.
I'd rather
it will be at the expense of Liberian people. So you want your country to develop because America is great because of the diversity Australia is great because of diversity. Any country that have discriminatory laws don't develop. Always observe it. It is other development comes, but very slow, or it does not. So when the country is open to people, people claim and become members of that country and do what they can do for that country. But once you marginalize and you have any discriminatory policies towards other people, that country development always stagnates. And at the expense of stagnation, you get the indigenous people will live a better life. Let's say relatively better life. Like what I was saying, they'll go and buy the steel from Seti Brothers and come and sell them. Nobody will be doing retail. But guess what? Now you find out that only on that scale. But if you allow other people to come, they'll bring foreign direct investment, what they call the FDI. So you find out that money will come in the country, people will start building tall buildings, people will start having different things, and rent will start getting lower for people to pay. Because the more supply with the economy, the more supply, the price will drop. The more the supply, and the less the demand, the price go up. So if you got few people with more rooms, more houses to rent, the price will drop because people's houses will be empty for weeks, months. Nobody can go inside. So when you come to them and say, "Oh, man, I want your house," they won't give it to you for a cheaper price because they know that they will not find somebody when you leave. You see it? So all these things are all economic terms. You got to trade off or make marginal decisions, So we are to this stage where I agree with former President Ellen, but also I want us to have time. We have just come from war to have time to balance ourselves, right? Whether 10 years is enough or 20 years is enough, I don't know. And that's for everyone to decide for themselves. How many years are sufficient for us to say we have sufficiently recovered from the war, so that we can open up our country. Or we say, open it up and see what happens. So it's just one of those things that, you cannot, use, I call it, one hand to determine, what happens.
I understand what you're saying with the diversity. I'm a fan of diversity, right? I mean, you would call me a hypocrite if I'm not, right? But, shut up. But it still doesn't negate the fact that, these challenges exist. Like you said, we're just came from war. People are trying to get their feet off the, on the ground, get their feet on the ground. People are trying, people are poorer than ever before. Everybody's struggling, right? Because we are rebuilding.
Yeah.
And then people who already has it, it's like the has and the has not. People who already have it, and he said, "Oh, it's okay. Let them be living." So then when they let them go to West Point, and as long as we got skyscraper on the road, and I don't know, no. I'm not gonna subscribe to that, to the judgment of the people for Liberia to develop like that. People can still come in. People can still open the policy. Well, what was the president? The guy with the white suit. What was his name?
October.
There you go. I always miss October.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah, I can always make myself. I got issues with that.
Yes. So I always see the guy with the white suit. But yeah.
Amy, here's what I want to say to that. There is in economic, they call protectionism, right? Protectionism. To protect, what you have, protect policies, protect, your country, protect your people from outside influence, protectionism, even on price, but they got all this protectionism. Usually it's a policy, and that means it has its own benefit, right? However, does that protectionism benefit more than being open? I don't know. And that's the thing. And I hear somebody in Lane Laporte in a comment section is saying that the passport doesn't matter. People, it doesn't change once, patriotism to a country. You being an Australian doesn't stop you from sending containers to Liberia. That's true. But guess what? This country gave me the opportunity, right? Though this country gave me the opportunity, and I feel that I want to invest back into my country that does not have the opportunity. Let's say these people went to Liberia. Liberia gave them opportunity, but was not a place that was comfortable for anybody to be. That's why I left, right? So if those people are there, I'm sure those people have been there for years. I saw a man who, when I was born, back in Maryland County, his name was OK. We used to call his store OK Store. Grew up, walking, went back to Liberia.
Why
This guy,
okay?
anybody from people who is watching will know OK Store. It's the oldest store that we had there, right? So, Amy, guess what? In 2001, I was going to Monrovia. Guess what? And I don't want to say on a cover. That was my first time going to Monrovia. So, 2001, I was going to Monrovia.
JJC.
My first time going to in 2001.
What?
I was on my way to Monrovia. After I traveled, I went back to Abidjan, and then I came to Tabou, and then I came to Cleveland, Maryland, County, where my parents live. Then I was leaving from there to go to Zwedju and then go to Monrovia. It would be my first time entering Monrovia. I don't know what the heck Monrovia is. The only thing we used to see that when people come from America, when people come from Monrovia, they can say "ene." So now, that's all we knew. So, ene, they used to say "ene."
That was a big English, man.
Yeah, for us that was a thrill. Yeah, I mean, they before music that came from America, before it reached to Maryland, it would take 5 years for no reason whatsoever. So when the music that gigging with we say, this is the new music in wherever it had been there for 5 years, they put tie away, right? So that's the same what say I was. So back to the point, I was leaving that area going to Monrovia, and guess who I rode with in a taxi?
Yeah.
This OK, the Lebanese guy. He has spent all his life in Liberia. And even after the war, he could not go back to Lebanon. He stayed as refugee and then went back to Liberia, and he was going away to Monrovia. Yeah. So there was a conversation in the car because my cousin, who is now the FAO executive director in Ivory Coast, he was with me in the car. So he asked him, man, he said, so where have you been? He said, I was in Ivory Coast. So he said, where are you going now? Yeah, he said, I'm going to Monrovia to see whether I can start my business. This guy went to Monrovia empty-handed, Amy. But after 2 years of being there, he has his own store now. Probably he might be dead now because he was very frail when we saw him, a very old man. I wish, he's still alive, hopefully. And Amy, I went, after 2-3 years, the man got his own store. Guess what happened? His friends put together and stood as a collateral for him to get loan from. If you do it at Alabama, they will run away and leave in the hole. Gone. Yeah.
That's how these
But
people. Yeah.
But Amy, listen to a quick story. Listen to a quick story. There's a story that I saw on Facebook. I almost cried. This girl has an issue with her kidney, so she goes on dialysis, right? So when this issue of the dialysis machine, black guy spoiled the dialysis machine when it came to power. This lady was at JFK, and things were high, and then she put her SOS call out, right, to her friends and everybody on Facebook. So they collected money. Her sister gave the money to one of the boys who had lived with them in the house, Amy.
No.
For years. They sent the boy to school, everything.
I already know how that story ended. No.
Amy, they kept fine. Gave me the bed, carried to get to the hospital.
Gosh.
Up to this time. They said about 25,000 because they collected the money to sell to India.
Hey, man.
Up to this time, they can't find the ball. So, Amy, our society is such it's volatile. So for you to find even investor going there, because Amy, now you put somebody behind your counter, say Amy, to say take out of this store here. Amy, before you go by it, let's say empty. It's empty. Amy, I trusted or bought a baby house. Amy, guess what? For some reason, the last money I say I would not send it the 10,000, I would go myself. So I went myself, we went to the store to buy it in. Amy, for that part to be brave, why are they telling the guy and say you put the price up?
That's what a lot of them do. Like
Amy, the boss of Tab because I wanted to be charged. That was $15. He said it must send it. He said it must send $25 to me because of the price he sent to me. $25. Why they send it $15? I was buying 160 cartoons. Amy.
Imagine
so, marking what that boy getting $15 on every cartoon and getting 160. Amy. This is when we undo from anywhere. Just trust and say, "Be my house."
I mean,
so the problem with us, sometimes I see it to be us. But it is what it is. We have to build a country where our country has to be built on trust. Hey, come on. It has to be built on trust and so many things. So it's ridiculous, but those women have good points, right? And I think the government and the comment ministry has to look at it to see. And it's tricky, Amy, because even the Indian people that have in those shops, right? If you go there and the Indian and you go check the paperwork, the how they call it, master territory get a business. You see it?
Yeah.
And master territory, when you go, you go there, the master territory get something. And when you go see master territory, she's sitting down, wait to a horse, it's not a zero horse. But I'll need on the paper that I'll get out store. A jack called Mukesh or Makesh or Rajesh. But that the main people, the main person that own it, that master territory, she's sitting down to a horse. So you see, and so we have to make sure that, I don't know what, because of poverty, our people can accept to do those things.
Oh, yeah.
I will also agree on that, yeah.
Something, that's it.
So it's difficult to say. I mean, it's just one of the things that we need to sit down as a people and think about it and see how we can help ourselves and help our people. Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't matter if you're Indian or you're Lebanese or you're Liberians, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have your store as a wholesale product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even Liberians, you shouldn't be allowed to sell retail. Because you're still killing the people who are buying from you, you know, to do the retail. So it shouldn't come with, you know, your nationality or whatever. If you're a Liberian man and you have a wholesale, your store is a wholesale store, that's what it should be. You shouldn't, because you're Liberian, you can do wholesale, you do retail. No. It should be a wholesale seller shouldn't be competing with the retail seller also. That's what it should be. It shouldn't be because you're Lebanese or because you're Indian, so you're not allowed to. So I don't think that's what it is. Is it? I think it's because the whole thing is when you're a wholesale seller, you're not supposed to sell.
No, but I mean, the woman argument is not what you're arguing. The woman argument is that foreigners are selling retail. Because I don't think Seti Brother has, you know,
because the foreigners
retailing.
are the wholesale sellers. So that's what it's saying like that.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. But guess what? The tricky part is that an Indian man, not every Indian man is Seti Brother. You get me?
They know
so
that.
they got different, a lot of them are there, they are different. So we cannot use that argument to defend that policy. What we can defend is the liberalization policy that tells that foreigners should not sell retail. Retail should be specifically for Liberians. So since the Indian people, have now 1 year, and the Indian people,
I disagree
what?
with that. I disagree.
You disagree with what?
Not every foreigner have money to do wholesale. So if you're a foreigner, you want to make business in the country. What if you don't? You shouldn't do retail.
You want to do business, do other businesses, but certain businesses are set aside for only Liberians. That's the law. You mean?
I know there are like Nigerians, there are Ghanaians, there are civilians, there are Guineans that does wholesale.
Those because of our ECOWAS region, we have a common marketplace. So a Nigerian man can sell retail because we have the common trade policy
against the
white people. Yeah. That's it. That's what our law says. Yeah, that's why we say the law is racist. That's what the people are being fighting for.
No, it should be if you're a wholesaler, you're not allowed to do retail. That's
look, economically, and it is very impractical for people to do retail when they are the same wholesaler. It is not practical. I don't think that is being practiced widely. If it is practiced, it needs to be stopped. But retail in Liberia is, it is a marketplace that is reserved for only Liberians, and because we have this common economic zone now called the ECOWAS, because now we'll soon be having the same money, going at job, using the same money we're using. Yeah, exactly. Guinea is there, Guinea is there, but we'll see how that works, because I see it's very impractical.
Guinea was part of that stuff, but what they acting now like they are losing their mind.
They call it legislative from Baga House. Then which one are we just watching now? We'll see what happens. Amy, I know what I call Bagawa, you what you get cheese. I know, but the thing is that
Get it? Yeah.
so
No,
so the thing
seriously.
is that's the plan, but right? But you know, as I see the pinch of the market woman, business woman, and
Yeah,
that's the first woman. She was very
yeah.
outspoken. I like the English she spoke. She was so brilliant. Yeah, I would like to meet her. She doesn't sound like somebody who, yeah, she sounds very brilliant. I like the terminology she used. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, no,
What kind of
stop twisting,
terminology
stop
like you
twisting.
never heard before? Like,
I like smart people, Amy. I like smart people, and she
what did
spoke
she say that
smartly.
pushed you on? Like,
Amy, listen to her again. Listen to her again. She spoke
which one?
elegantly. The first woman with that hijab thing, she
Okay.
tied her head. Yeah, she spoke elegantly. I really enjoyed the English, the way she programmed her English. She did not speak like a typical
When
Liberian.
she
Yeah,
program her English.
yeah. I really enjoy her.
Well,
So we don't
she
want to see our people. We don't want to see our
sounds
people.
educated. She
being-
doesn't sound like
yeah,
a
disadvantaged. Very
non-educated
educated.
person.
Yeah.
So you can be educated and you be a business. You choose to do business, and that's what she's doing. But she's getting
Yeah.
strangled, in her own country, and that's the frustration she's trying to pull out there.
True,
And
true,
and
true.
I was just saying that this is just a little bit of it. It's happening everywhere. We hear the stories all across, even in Morovia.
Mhm.
It's all over in the market.
You're all over the place. Yeah.
The people go buy chicken feed box. They come outside. The Indian people, the only people putting chicken feet on the table too, saying the 5 pieces for while they put outside.
Move from here, man.
Okay,
Amy, you
fine.
lie.
No, I saw in the market, the fish market, the ladies they were complaining there about that too, and I was like, no, get out of here! Like that's a serious problem, and I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it is a serious
I
problem.
keep saying the labor, that commerce, right? Commerce.
Yeah.
They're the one who in charge of that. Yeah, they're supposed to
And
be.
Amy, you guys, I don't know whether you got 2 kids or 1 or 2 or 3. We need to populate Liberia too. Yeah, we need to populate Liberia.
What does that mean?
Because Amy, those are some of the problems. I always say this on the show. That
You-
because our population, because
Oh,
our
you want me to be a
population.
rabbit? And breed 10 at a time?
Fuck. I want twin for you. The next year, twin again. At least you know what I mean. Then we're going somewhere.
I want
Yeah,
triplets.
triplet, good. That would be
Next
fantastic.
babies are gonna be
Because
triplets.
when our
Two
population, Amy, if our population is high, right? You see why Nigeria people can become millionaires so easily because of population. Let's
so
say
easily?
the GDP. Let's look at the GDP and look at how it impacts people, right? Let's say, Amy, you're selling color on Broad Street, right? And they get 10,000 person that passing on Broad Street, right? And let's say maybe 5,000 of them bought from you.
Mhm.
And even when they pay $1 for each color, or any amount, even you make more than when you get only 10 people that can't let to buy. You see it? That's the whole thing. That's why even now, if I went to Liberia, I'll prefer to go and launch my music in Nigeria, where if even they pay $1 for my CD, right? Maybe 20 million people buy one CD. And at 20 million, I may read there.
Yeah.
But if you get to Liberia and you launch it there, you get maybe 50 people to buy it. You see it? Because of the population, it has to do with everything economically. So to become a millionaire in Liberia is harder than to be a millionaire in Nigeria. You see it?
So that's why
It's
you
all about population. You see it? So we want to boom the population because guess what, Amy? You cannot print money with small population. You can't print plenty money with small population. You see it? Because now what you have inflation. I mean, people.
I'm gonna press check that.
You got to press Jagra. You got me on my own team. Let's forget it. You got me press Jagra. I know the trapata or the quadruple. I don't know whatever that happened yesterday in Buchanan is hitting home with you guys. But don't worry. Well, we say far. You know what saw the crowd in Buchanan? Relax. You see.
Oh well, wait a minute. Was that was that yesterday? I thought that was
that was yesterday. That was yesterday. And I think
campaigning already.
Well, not campaigning. It was just like this. The CPP did. The moment last and people coming together, trying to put themselves together. As a political party. Yeah. So it was a big program. Well attended. Yes, no, CPP had their own, but this one is CDC. Yeah, CDC. So
okay.
it's just like, yeah, people are coming together. So three counties came together, just to converge on the city of Buchanan, yeah, to re-energize themselves, instead of wanting to send Buckeye that if you cannot protect our country, we're getting out in 2029. So that's what it was.
They'll be all on the sea. It's not going to help you.
Oh well, I hope it doesn't, because as we know, election is all about numbers. What are the handicaps say? But I won't vote to get the same vote any judges that he get, that same vote Zogo get. They will count it one. They don't know the one that's Zogo put it on his side. So it is what it is. So let's see what happens, because Liberia will have a lot of economic challenges.
Yeah.
Just so disappointed, like even when you want to open business. Because Amy, can you imagine now? The road that was supposed to be built in Grand Crew, right? The contract already been awarded. But you know what they put on now? For the bank to provide the money to the contractor. Because most of the time, or more often, when you win a contract, you have to pre-finance certain part of the contract. Sometimes the government will give you 35% of the contract. You know what I mean? So that 65% will only be paid over time as you progress on milestones.
No way.
Yes, that's how it happens. So you not get all the money. They will and you cannot say you provide the contract that costs maybe $150 million, and then they get 35% of that $150 million. It's almost nothing. You get me? So you have to put money forward. So sometimes the bank guarantee that comes, they say, okay, we'll guarantee that contract. Then the bank is having hard time generating that money to give to you for you to start. So you see some of the issues we have in Liberia. It's bad, and that's why keeping our development behind. Because now I know this government wants to do well, just like CDC wanted to do well. But some of those things can hitch them, right? Now they ain't get money now for them to start a contract. They awarded the contract almost 2 months ago now, right? But that contract cannot start because they are waiting on the bank to give them money.
So is that why it's so hard to have Liberians contractors? Because they don't have the
Yes. Because most of the time, if I
I don't know what to call it, laws or rules or something for contracting with the government, that's messed up. Because you're supposed to pull up, you who giving the contract, who got the contract, you're supposed to pull up most of the money for the people to do the contract.
So Amy.
So why doesn't that work for everybody else in the country? Why, if I hire a contractor, why I gotta put the money up? Why they can't do the job and I pay them? Instead, people would give them their money and they either do a shitty job or they don't do it at all and just run away with people's money. So if that is, or is that for just government and it's not for everybody, why can't it be that way across the board?
It depends the agreement you have with your contractor, right? There are different contracts when it comes to work. Like even here, like when we are giving a contract, like the last big contract I gave was $3 million, right? So that contract, what happened is that you put a contract, you say we want to build this road from here down there, and the asphalt should be, and the chip seal, the asphalt should be this thick. So we want guardrail along the river so that people can fall in the river, and we want land marking as well, and we want RRP, right? The road reflective, things, but those light that can be on the road, on the street, those small things where you can just to guide you so you can go on the other lane. We want those things there, and so we get all the criteria to them. They will say, put your bid in and tell how much you require to build this blah 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 road. And you get me? Then it will come and say, okay, I can bid for $10 million. The other say I can bid for $10.1 million. Somebody say I can bid for $15 million. Somebody can say $9.2 million. Right? Then when it comes, one of the things, the way we grade them is that the way we grade them, because we have to be economical in our grading, right? So we say if you are a local company, we gave you 25% ahead of non-local company. You see it? But then when we come to how they call it funding, right? Funding has to be on equal footing. You see it? So when you can provide documentation or bank guarantee that say we can give you $10 million to pre-finance this work, right? And then the other company say they can give up $20 million. Forget it. Even that 25% you go ahead in getting me, you still cannot beat the international president because they got more money. Is there?
Mhm.
So you lost it. Even though we gave you advantage by giving 25 points ahead of them because we're looking at 100 points, right? And then we say we give you 25 points. So you only level 75 points to fight for. But then when you come, the place will come to phone year pre-financing. We come there, then they say they load that. You say you can only produce $2 million. Then somebody said they can produce $10 million. You think we get you point with the people? No. For that, maybe for that 20 points, we give you 1 point, we get it put 15 or 20 or 49 points. Because they can get more money, easier. They can put more money in front because they got more bank guarantee, easier. So that's the thing. And before you come out, the international person will take it because they get more back and more funding. People trust them more than they trust the Labrampo because when we get our money, they can run and go say that in Sanoye. You see it? That's the issue. So bank don't want to look at it and get any guarantee like that.
Yeah.
So it's hard. So we are in a mess. But hopefully one day we'll get a best president who will not want to build a house. And for the information, President Bouaka is building a house on the alley again. That new place he's building is on the alley. So 2029, if he loses election, you should know that I'll be going hammer.
Break it down.
I will get yellow machine. I will get in the yellow machine. I will put the button down. Say how you can start it. They'll tell me how to start it. Hopefully he's not the one building it. I don't know. I'm not sure who's building it, but there is a construction going on next by his house there that is on the alley.
I mean,
and it's not a good thing.
I thought he was supposed to leave that area because of the location.
No, he's still there, and they are building something in that facility, which is going to be blocking the alley. But it is what it is. So I mean, we just hope that President Bouaka can do well.
Who said that?
Yeah, it's according to what I'm saying, it's in the alley. Because even you know what happened, Amy? The alley was passing in from President Bouaka's house. You know what he did? He put a fence there and blocked the whole alley, so no road can pass in. We understand he's the president. He doesn't want to be in danger by cars passing. Even though,
the fence down.
No, it's still there. Even though a few years ago he used to be moving out of the store on the road by plenty chair. But because he's president now, we don't want car to come close. Our president will respect him for that. A woman used to be frying car right in front of our house there for people to come by from there. We used to go there. But became president now, he blocked that whole place. He put a gate there and security there. We understand. But when he is not a president, we remove that gate. The second thing is that we want to make sure that house is being make sure it's not in the way. When it's in the way,
I mean, if the first
we have no alternative.
I don't think they will be that dumb to pull the second one anyway. I don't like what Mr. Bouaka know he's not above the law. He knows that. He says that all the time. So I don't think they will know that you breaking people houses down from all the way there, you go pull your own there. That's not true. That's just one of the propaganda.
No, but Amy, let the way you're saying for face value. Why did he block the alley in front of your house?
Well, alley.
He built whole fence in front of it.
The road is already there. The alley is already there.
Okay,
there's a street coming and there's streets all around this man's house. So which one of what he wanted? He put a fence. I mean, on the court.
Yeah, the road are coming from President Weah house there. That can turn in front of your house.
Street. I mean, I've never been there. I've seen the video.
He blocked that whole place. He put a big fence there. I drove past it. Yeah, many times. Look, but we understand he's the president. He can do whatever he wants to do, and I hope that as soon as January 2nd, 2030, he should know that that fence is coming down. He himself will break it. Say, I know that, Papa. He's a smart woman. He get too much wisdom.
There's no way.
You will be going to FOIA to his new retirement village, the $10 million and retirement village. I think that way you'll be going. Yeah, but Labrie trouble is not just non-trouble. And when you are not there, when you're not a president, you say the person not there, the person is not doing well, the person is stealing. But when you get in now, you look around, you say, oh, and how the thing you're looking. Yeah, because by now, even those who support the government thought that things will be better than they are, but they are not. It's simply because
I
we
don't
are
think
at a
so.
disadvantage.
I don't think
Say that
so.
again. You don't think so? You think things are better than
I
you
always
expected
tell
them?
you things are gonna get worse before it gets better.
How
Because
long is it gonna be? Because it's 3 years now, Amy.
it's gonna get worse before it gets better. You'll probably
Yeah, but
start seeing some of the things that is happening. You'll probably start seeing it in the next 6 years now. This government is rebuilding. This government is fixing. I know that's what you don't
what are they
hear.
rebuilding? What are they rebuilding? I want to know
They're
some of the things that they are
rebuilding.
rebuilding.
You don't know what they're
Building what?
rebuilding. You don't see it. George,
Now I want to see.
I'm not here.
No, but Amy, every country, even now here in Australia, they are rebuilding roads. The road are in front of my house, they're rebuilding it.
You can't compare Australia with America.
Okay, but rebuilding is a relative term. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm.
We feel like we look like we just came from war. We just came from the war. Even though it's been like what, 20 some more years? How long? 2018?
Yeah, almost 20 something years because our war finished in 2003, right?
Something like that. But it looks like we just came from the war. Not much has been done for the past two government that was there. It's not much.
So what is being done now?
Listen, we're not supposed to be talking about most of the roads opening, talking about doing since laying in now and breaking out of it down, and they're calling him evil. He's supposed to leave it at that because he saw the fee for the people, he saw to do the one, and he's doing it now. He's not evil. He's building the country. He's trying to. Development comes with pain, and we all will feel it. Why? Because our country is not America. America can be doing multiple things at the same time, and I'm pretty sure so is Australia or whatever. That is not Africa. We beg for money. We do all of this thing. We're still doing those things yet. So if we have to keep talking about putting the food in everybody's stomach all the time, then guess what? We're not going anywhere. We're
not talking about food here. We're not talking about food. You said they are rebuilding.
Okay,
so we're not talking about food.
Let me finish. So if we are talking about people might be full, they might be that belly should be popping before they go to bed and something, that bread's never going anywhere. The same way how we're still struggling to pull food on the table, we can suck it up and do that for a while we rebuild. And that's what President Bouaka is doing. You can be in denial about the facts, but they are right there in our faces every day. They're right there. We see it. We've seen the differences. We've seen things that is happening now that have never been happening before. We've seen it. So all institutions are in denial. One of them, but everybody, all the other people, but everybody can see it. Even when they go in that corner and they talk about it. Now, am I saying it's perfect or nothing bad? Everything is gravy and something? No, it's gonna be tough, and that's what's going on right now. Okay, that's what's going on right now. Security wise, drugs thing, all of them. There are still things.
The car is not making mule.
Yeah, but still, things are doing a little bit okay, and we're talking about things doing something and foreigner coming. We have a lot of illegal mining across the country, and I got a video from Lofa that we have to play. Chinese people, things that you and I would not be able to do in China. They can come to Liberia and it happened not because they can just get up from the airport and just walk there and do it. No, guess what? The same old people, our people. Right? Taking little or nothing, putting it in a personal pocket and letting the people to do whatever they want to do. So there was a video that I seen and somebody sent it to me and said there's more they're gonna show about this. There's an illegal mining going on. The superintendent knows about it. A superintendent? Or that's what was the title? Superintendent for mayor? Say that somebody there knows about it, and they're trying to when they're trying to talk about it, they you know how they try to intimidate them and into you undermining your government and stuff. Mind you, it's not the government that is doing it. You know, it's just those local leadership and stuff. Those tiny something in that institution. there and have no position, time position, and they think they are, everything they do, they lying to the people that the government doing it and stuff. And then when they want to talk about it, they're trying to brainwash them into something. Then they will sit down and not say anything about it. So it's a lot going on across the country, illegal mining, and that's something too that also needs to stop.
Definitely. I agree with you.
Yeah, so let me go ahead. Why you talking? Let me find the video and play.
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, there is a point there while you found that video that our people are the cause for the advantage they're taking. And sometimes I'm getting fed up with saying our people are poor, that why they allow these things. Because if you are poor and you still have integrity, there are certain things you will not do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are certain things you will not do. So I'm leaning towards people not having integrity or allowing certain things that they know that are unlawful and allow people to do it only because they get a small tip in the pocket and they can go and sit down to a bar to drink liquor. Because now we have observed that the businesses that can boom in Liberia that to get drinking spot. Yeah, get drinking spot. You can make quick money out of drinking spot than any other business in that country. Because it doesn't require a lot of capital. And that's why you see every part of the street you go, some kind of music backing somewhere and people drinking there. Now the people that say they're suffering. But the thing is that we need to start to look at ourselves in the mirror and figure out what we want for our country. Because guess what? If you go to a Ghanaian now and tell them, say, I want to do this in your country, and you getting me? And they know, say, you don't have the right to do it. They will say no.
Mm-hmm.
They will say no. But when Liberian man will say, let's go talk. Let's go be on it. Let's go talk. What you get? That's what they will ask you. And as soon as you get something that they want, forget it. You will get that opportunity to do what you want to do. Exactly. At the detriment of other people, you know what I mean? Of the Liberian people, which is bad. But again, I don't want to certain things I don't want to say, but hopefully somebody can say them for me. That our people need to wake up, you know what I mean? Our Liberian people, they're too lazy. They want to get things easy, you know what I mean? And when you want to get things easy, bribe is the easiest way to get money, you know? So they easily get bribed because they're lazy to do whatever they're supposed to do. And then they will act illegally on our natural resources. Can you imagine? I saw the other time they were mining black sand. Chinese people were mining black sand. They got arrested and they stopped it now. Yeah. But somebody gave them the go ahead to do that.
Somebody did. They're not just getting up and doing that on their own.
Mm-hmm. Because all the land you see, they belong to people, you know? So nobody go on your land and start mining black sand there. And then you say, yeah, go ahead. People gave them the authority to do that. Because they were bribed, they were giving small thing. The small thing in our country, why they're destroying it. But it is what it is. So it's a mining spot.
I don't know if it's showing on the screen now.
Yeah, I can see on the screen, but the picture is so small.
I know.
Yeah, the picture is so small.
I can't even get a single. I don't even want to have it like this, but I think it's so small. I think I'll have to blow it up and come and bring it back on here. Yeah, but this is the illegal mining they're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a problem.
Well, Amy, how can there be illegal mining when? Because I know in the Republic of Liberia, before you mine, you have to have a mining license, and the mining license is usually given to you for a particular place. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because I remember my uncle was trying to mine, and he had a prospective mining license, and that license was only to be used in Grand Cru. And he and myself went to do the gold mining, and we started digging. We started watching just to prospect to see the quantity of gold we could find around our place, right? And we did not finally get to it until I traveled, but it was that. So how can somebody just come from a different country and join me on bush to mine without a license? I think something is happening. Somebody's got bribed somewhere, just like we were saying. Somebody got bribed somewhere.
I think they are getting licensed for something else.
Oh, okay, and they're doing something else.
And doing something else.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
That's what they're doing.
We cannot allow.
Yeah, and then when they go,
the locals should be arrested.
Yeah, the locals are there. The locals who are there, they are allowing them to do it because the Tanchi, they park behind the hall with the Tanchi, so the Tanchi go and then telling the people, oh, they just doing it, lying to the people, right, in the town instantly.
Yeah.
Why
Just like Baka enjoying they were money saying in Makuma River.
Yeah.
And they say what money saying, money mineral. But anyway, go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, so that's what's going on. They go and lying to the people in the town, even though the people saying that something not right, but they're still doing it because the Tanchi telling them different thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Different
why
thing.
they seeing something
Terrible.
else. So when
you land in your pocket, Amy, the Tanchi land in your pocket.
Yeah.
You see that's the problem. And guess what? If you check it a little or nothing they're giving him, and they're getting thousands and thousands of dollars from there. Peanuts. Only because he prefer to be corrupt. But you see, that's the problem. The situation in Liberia is such, I don't know how to describe our problem. Because when people are in power, they say, oh, the government corrupt. But even the people who are not in power say they corrupt. You go to the church,
systematic. I think corruption in Liberia is systematic. Like everybody in Liberia these days, mostly everybody's corrupt. And it's sad, but that's the truth. Only a few people got integrity and try to stay away from stuff like that. But I'm sorry. Hey,
yeah, it's
got
crazy.
Some people who still have the integrity in check.
Inside, yeah, definitely.
Is the bare minimum, like it's like send in 1 million, right? Something like
exactly.
That. And when you get to those people now, you're looking at everybody like this because you encounter so many of them.
Yeah, you don't know who's who now anymore. It becomes tricky, yeah.
Yeah.
And Amy, I just want to answer a guy here by the name of William Jala. He's talking about, he said I should give him a break about, CDC government was corrupt and they were only about lying their pockets. I agree, I agree. There's nobody in Liberia that will say they have not tasted corruption or they don't have some element of corruption in them. The only thing that can help people, even myself on the platform here, the only thing that between we and corruption could be opportunity. But there should be a deterrent, right? Or deterrent for people to not be able to do it, to give incentives for you not to do it. Now, if you do it, you get punished. You get me, Amy? Mostly, even psychologists says the only reason why people are not bad is because of the consequences of being bad. You see it? That only thing I can stop them. Some people can want to kill people, right? But when they know say when I kill the person here, they either kill me or I'll go to jail. I will never see outside until I die. So just by the thought of that, they'll say, let me just let all the stupid men go. You get me? So those are the things. So deterrents are the things. So if you say CDC government are corrupt, I agree. Every government is corrupt because all Liberians are corrupt. And the only thing that could stop us from being corrupt is deterrence, the punishment for people who are corrupt. So if you say CDC are corrupt and this government is not corrupt, then of course you are not making any sense. Because if you say CDC are corrupt and people are not corrupt, then what is the difference that you can see now that makes them to be better? Even now, MCSS teachers are protesting for their pay. Blind people from the group of 77, they are protesting because they can't get food. Who is there stealing the money now? Or which people cannot get their stop paying? PB Hospital, no mattress for the people. No gloves for the people to wash, even the bloody mattresses that are there. Who's taking the money? Is that CDC government taking the money? Is that president? We are bidding another for the 100 condominium? No. The only reason why you think people are corrupt or people are taking all the money is because you are not there. You don't know how much they have. Even now, the GT Bank and the government are now fighting because government officials say they are not getting paid. And then the finance ministry is saying that the money is being sent to GD Bank. GD Bank say you're lying. You don't send no money to us. Because they want to blame GD Bank, so GD Bank can take the fall for them not being paid, for the staff not being paid. Because and the GD Bank said, no, this is a corporate, this is a business, this is a private business. You cannot tarnish our reputation for you to be look good at. So you did not send any money to us. That's why we did not pay the people. Our system does not have any problem. So you cannot say that to us. Now they are saying that if GD Bank continues like that, they will find alternative. How can you find alternative when I get my bank account to GD Bank? Yeah, working for you. You can't tell me say I'm gonna go open different account to send my money there. No, that's not bank. You must send my money there. So I don't know which type of way they want to do it. So let me tell you, the only problem we have in Liberia is that we don't have the capital. So the scarce little resources that we have, if it's not going around and people are investing it in Liberians, people will say they are stealing. Because guess what? Since the government got into power, we have not seen any major thing that they have started and finished. For one, by this time, the military hospital was 75%, almost maybe 90% finished. By this time, the Doe Community Road that started from the beginning to the end, it has already been.
Oh, they won't lane? That way you won't come both of yet?
Even if you say half lane, it was something that was done.
Are they redoing? Yeah, I understand
that only one lane. Yeah, no, yeah. Where about a one lane? Where about a one lane that just started? The idea of just we have to say, you know what? These people here, they road there should be a road here so that the traffic in the Baton cannot be as bad as it is. So let's get a bypass there. So somebody who want to go Somalia Drive, you can just take that Baton road, you go inside that Doe Community Free Kind of say, you wait to Simenko area. You go. You're going to bypass all that place that between how they call it, Flower Town, all that place until you kind of Simenko, you bypass all that place just because of Doe Community Road. So it brought big relief, and that was something that was from the ingenuity of that government. What are we seeing now? The only thing we have seen is the $10 million, which is completely out of priority. 10 million compounded bidding in FOIA. They say for MRU. That 10 million, you have taken it from there and done something with it in Liberia to make sure that we widen the road, even in Vartown, so that the traffic is not as big as it is. But here we are, sitting down here, and somebody's going to tell us about other people were corrupt, blah, 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 blah.
You're not being honest with yourself.
I am being honest, Amy.
No, you're not. So let me tell you why you're not being honest with yourself.
Go ahead, I'm here.
You understand that there are, minimum resources for the country to for development and something, and they are taking most of the resources. I mean, that the country has into all going on, let's say almost half going on payroll. Little or nothing left there for development and things like that.
What can you repeat that, please? Sorry, Mama, I didn't hear that.
They are taking most of the budget, almost half or more than half of it is going on payroll.
Yeah.
Right, and the rest supposed to be for development and projects and stuff like that in the country. So now we know that everything that was being said about the CDC government wasn't a lie. You can have that. You say, oh, no money and nothing happening, but you see government officials doing stuff that people who
you check on that data yourself. You check on that data yourself because those people are being paid, Amy. Because all the money going on salary. So when the government official is paid,
let me come on.
Okay, I'll leave you. Go ahead.
So people, they are getting paid. But how much are you getting paid? If you're getting paid $6,000, right, and you're doing things that someone who's getting paid $50,000, is that because you're getting paid? So we should just accept that. And after they left power, we seen the finance minister is going to court for what $6 million, and then the chief of staff, she was the chief of staff or chief of protocol or whatever, getting something for $6 million, and for how many $1 million Liberian dollars? And you sitting us telling us that none of those things happened. It was just all a myth, and people just wanted to say it out of their head and saying that. But this government, now I'm not putting my head on a chopping board for everybody. But I know one thing. If President Walker knows you're doing something wrong, you're going. And I've seen, not just me, but everybody who's watching, unless you want to be biased, unless you want to be in denial of the facts that we all seen every day. You're talking about Doe Community Road. We got Peace Island and they're joining with Paco Island. And we got what is it?
Dusty Road.
We kept Road. We got Cape Road and We got they putting asphalt pavement everywhere now. We got places that name where the roads are finishing, and we're doing. You see all of the things here, but you're still sitting here telling us we got schools that are being built. We got a conventional center. We got a diagnostic center which has been built everywhere in Bon County, all across the country. You see all of those things then. That's why you have people all over the place showing those things, and we can be showing it to your system because why? It's visible. It's there. The videos are there. It's not AI. They're showing it so you can see it because these are the narratives that you want to run with. So the go around to show those things, the things the government is doing. So y'all can see them, or people can see them, that when you come, like the narrative that you take, they are not doing anything. They are not doing anything. There's nothing happening. Why everybody's saying it? But you George, you went there, you came and testified in the chat. You give a testimony. But when you come on the show, you don't want to be honest with yourself because you feel like it won't make CDC look good. That is not a good thing for our country if we're doing that. You can praise your party all you want, but at least be honest with the conversation and say the things that you're seeing. We seen a whole lot going on everywhere, and there's still more coming. Okay, we seen all of that. We were not seeing all of this massive open roads and roads going here and there. How many lanes? Wow, there one famous Zoho community. I don't know what Zoho community is, but I know what it is because I heard so much about it during the campaign. That's the only road I could hear about. Zoho community, and I really want to visit Zoho community when I go to Liberia now because it was so famous in my ear when we started on sponsor doing running campaign spoon letting that the road. Oh, he felt Zoho community road. Oh, he felt Zoho community road. So guess what? When I see a video somebody saying Zoho community road, they're trying to say I'm like this. I'm trying to see Zoho community. Because I want to know what Zoho community is. And because it was so much, that's why I call it the famous Zoho community road, right? But now we can name you so many roads, right? Across the country. You see it, and not just that. The rehabilitation center, or diagnostic center, or conventional center, I mean, just name it all across the country. And you want to come here and tell us that there's nothing? And first of all, there's no one that said that project in Foya is $10 million. That $10 million narrative, they kill it real on spoon. When they brought it up, when they talk about it, you say, yeah, the mommy, we just say $10 million. And I mean, because that's what everybody keep running with. You don't know about the project, but you know the full amount that the project costs. That is very laughable. $10 million, $10 million, $10 million. So if you don't know about the project, how come you know about the budgeting? How come you know about how much it costs? How come you know about who put in the black, who laying, who do that? I mean, you need to slow down. Do not compare this government and the CDC government. Do not compare with nobody saying that this government is perfect. There's no one there doing something. But I know for one fact that if the man who is ahead of this government know that you're doing something, you will go. He promised it every time he meets with them. That I know, and I'm confident that he would do. We couldn't say the same. We couldn't say the same thing with the past government. So there's no way you can butter anybody up here. We're not living under the rock. With the same how we're setting up, I think all these people are setting up like that too.
Okay, Amy, look, I'm not going to argue. The Liberian people will decide. And the thing is that, yeah, if you say, yeah, a stretch of road that people bury for 200 million, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in Liberia, we don't even have that 200 million to spare. Our entire country, all the money in the country for budget is 800 million. So you understand that 92% of the money is going to salary.
Ridiculous.
So yeah, which is
92%?
Yeah, almost 92%, yeah, for the salary. So that little percentage, which is 8%, yeah, it is big. I mean, so you find out that there's no room to move. But when you're not there, you say they put stealing the money. To even pay salary, they put having problem. Even now, the government having problem with paying salary. Even after almost 3 years, You know what? They government after 3 years, they owe, how they call it, say, Ivory Coast, $35 million for
Don't
LEC,
go
for power. They can't pay.
Don't go there.
Because they have, but guess what? Every government will owe.
Okay.
CDC government will owe too. But it's just to tell you that after
It's
3
adding
years,
up. They did not owe that
so
money.
if you are paying CDC, they don't owe $30 million, we owe $9 million. Now
Okay.
you owe 35. You know, from 9 to 35, you know how big it is? It is big. So when we left power, we had $9 million for the people. You go to power. After 3 years, you owe to put $35 million in. That tells you that the fiscal space is tight. Because when you pay salary, you don't get no money again to pay those things. And people still calling over A. You see it? And guess what? The government ministries, they owing LEC $29 million for LEC for power. They can pay. You know why they can pay? Because the government has no money to pay. That's
Well,
why
that shouldn't be an excuse, though.
I know there's an excuse, but as reality, I'm telling you, I'm not giving an excuse for that. Yeah. So they are not paying their bills. If they were paying their bills, LEC were not going to be in a mess in with Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast are not going to be cutting power from us. But because they cannot pay, So let me ask you a question now. CDC government owe $9 million. Your government owe $35 million. Who is stealing money now? Who is not paying?
So, unless I can see the chart that says this government will put $33 million on there, then that's but not George. Can you tell me that something?
No, Amy, if you listen to the LEC, Mr. Sheriff, who went to the Senate, he narrated all these things.
Yeah, I need to hear.
I'm not taking it from my head. Yeah, I'm not taking it from my head. So the government owes LEC $29 million, sorry. And LEC owes Ivory Coast $35 million. So you see the difference there? If the government pay a bill today, LEC now, we get electricity from Ivory Coast. They reduce it to, 10% or 20% LEC, right? And power, right? It was 50% from CDC time. That 50% we're getting from the people. Now the people cut it down now. They say they would get at least, I think, 20 or 10%.
If they were getting 50% and they were like that, then the people who not getting that much, doing more, doing more than the people that were getting 50%.
You're not grasping what I'm trying to say. I said CDC was owing. CDC government was owing. CDC government, before they left power, they pay until they were owing $9 million. So the government inherited $9 million from the CDC government, right? To pay, right? Because revenue comes every day, right? You know, as people buy things in the store, this and that, revenue coming to the government, right? So CDC owed $9 million when they left power. So now you managing it now. You managing it now for 3 years. For 3 years, you owe $35 million. Because of that, the people say, Ivory Coast say they are reducing the power. Because if you credit for me, you owe me $35, and you coming back again for me to credit you, I say pay the one way you get first. Else I can't credit you again. That's what happening. So if you say the CDC government was stealing, then the government, they're looting. They're not stealing. Because when they are able to pay that money for 3 years, they can pay $35 million. Then, of course, and CDC were only $9 million. They were stealing, and they were owing, they put $9 million. Now, your government owed $35 million. They're looting. That God, I acknowledge that in our head. I don't think they are stealing. I don't think the CDC was stealing as well as much as people think. The problem is that we didn't get money because most of our money goes to salary. You see it? And that's just common sense. But people who don't know these things, they'll come out and say they put stealing the money now. So now tell me now, who's stealing? The government is stealing too because they owe LEC $35 million. They owe Ivory Coast $35 million.
You just said
no time in the 6 year that the CDC government were in power that they owe more than $20 billion.
You want to know why?
No time.
You want to know why?
I don't want to know why because I think
you don't want to know why. I would have said right now. Look at the progress that they have made with lights, with lights all over the place. Look at the progress that Mohammed Sharif had.
What you're saying is different from what I'm saying.
A country was celebrating him for how long? Before they just started having problems. So it was more, what he was doing was more in electrifying streets, going all the way, Bento and everywhere. CDC government was not doing that. So you cannot compare the two. And when
Yeah,
it comes
Amy.
to the education sector, it's different. You just said it. People are not paying their
Amy.
bills. So
Amy.
it's different from everywhere
Amy,
else.
you're getting it wrong. Let me put you on the road before you go. I'm trying to tell you, say the Liberian people, the ordinary people are paying their bills. The government is not paying her bill. No, but guess what? Now, Amy, if I owe you $35, I owe you $35. I want to pay $35. But then somebody owe me $29.
Yeah, but you really mean
Give me that money out. Okay, that means the government is owing them, but the ordinary people are paying their bills. You see it? That's the whole rationale. And when you think about it, that's what it is. So the government is not paying her bills. They're not paying her bills because all their money that they're getting going to salary. You see it? And we can't blame them for that. If you would come on here and say CDC was stealing,
they're giving
but
them everything.
CDC could pay her bill.
But George said,
CDC could pay her bill.
It's just something that's different from what we're talking about. Everything else, though.
It's the same, Amy. It's the same. Guess what? It's the same. No, it is not the same. It's energy. Because guess what?
Paying their bills. The same way how this government will not pay the same way. Everybody think that when you work in government, like everything's supposed to be free for you to call it benefits.
Yeah, but they're paying people cooks and all. They're paying people how to go and say rent. Those people get their own house and living like that. We're still paying their rent. We're paying house ball for them. We're paying Java for them. We're paying for everything. Newspaper, we're paying for it. But guess what? That same thing is not really unique to this government. The CDC government were doing the same thing.
But that's what I'm saying. The real government, whatever their so-called pay something come from, why are we paying people or cooks, domestic staff? Why? What's the point of them paying you? You use that money and so if they're paying you, you just go put it in the bank. Everything else, your gas or your wetting or your everything, your generator, the government taking care of everything. Why should
it's the policy that needs to be revisited. But I'm just trying to educate this guy who says CDC government was stealing. The government is not stealing now. Where's the money going? Because I same thing now happening. People still fighting for salary. They can't get paid. People are just how they call it.
The money is going opening Paco Island, whatever they call it. So Peace
Island. But that time they were not bidding 14 minutes. They were not bidding 14 minutes hospital. They were not bidding Do Community Road. They were not bidding the how they call it the Ralphie Highway.
One road, Do Community Road. We got
Ralphie Highway. Lofa Road. I said Lofa Road. I call him Rose now. Lofa Road.
Yeah, well, I'm naming roads across the country and everything. So what are you?
Yeah, but Amy, I don't want you to fight it because it will not make any point when you're fighting it. All I'm trying to tell you,
I name it the conventional center. I name it the diagnostic center. I name it the rehabilitation center. I name it the what I call the hospital name, Redemption. I'm naming what else the health ministry is doing in schools and education, all the one that the decks. I mean all of those.
I mean the same thing. CDC government were paying for WIAC. They were paying the same thing your government paying. They were paying.
They have WIAC fees with this government. They were
every government. Even now, listen. Even now, the government.
So they were not using it to pay anything. They left the bills there for this government to pay. So no. I know you don't like to acknowledge. Nobody says CDC government did not do some things. They did. But on the scale that this government is doing, it's not the same. And I don't care. They are doing so many in sanitation and cleaning. I'm doing lots of things that and something you think yellow machine or whatever thing they're opening out of way there and doing what you think those they're running on water. You think that free something. Those are money. Those are resources that is being used for all of those things.
Amy.
Acknowledge it.
Amy.
Stop acting like nothing happened. That's your narrative. Nothing has changed. Nothing happening. Nothing in your head. That's why your team, when you're running away all day, the people who are there feeding in, nobody saying they are living in bread, but they are seeing it, and the people are seeing it. They're seeing the development. Yes, things are hard, and it gets harder when you're doing stuff like that. And I always say, and I always will. But at the end of the day, it's gonna get better.
Amy, what is the government doing? What is the government
I
doing
don't
that the
know.
CDC
I don't know how to sound. You want me to sound like a broken
No,
record?
no, no, no. I mean, the question is different. Just wait for the question to land and bake you. The question is different. There's a twist to this question. What is the government doing that the CDC government was not doing? Because let me tell you, I'll be frank with you. I'm not saying the government is stealing. And I will not say CDC government is stealing. Every government, there is a corrupt element to every government. People can always be corrupt in any government. If you catch them, you can punish them, whatever. Even this government, people are being punished, right? CDC government, corruption, people were punished, right? But let's take, for instance, every project that is happening, every project that is happening now have been happening in the country under the CDC government.
That's
the
not
Lofa
true.
Road.
Not every project.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish. I know you disagree with me. The Lofa Road that this government is working on, the CDC government working on the same Lofa Road. The road that in had a Grand Crew that the government is working on. Yellow machine is on the ground and the road was being worked on before this government came to power. So that means focus on that. Yeah.
Can you prove it?
If you go to Grand Crew now, you'll see yellow machines there. They were there before the government came to power. It's not a debate. Now where I come from. Yeah, no. If you don't care, then give me the opportunity.
They pour swimming under the water everywhere. Where did they?
So, Amy, you see when you're talking, you see when you're making your point, I was very quiet. I was listening to you, not because you are making good points, but because I wanted to allow you to finish. So, allow me to finish. All I want to say is that we should stop doing what we are doing, but firstly, without any calculation or any iota of understanding of the issues, and we say somebody is corrupt. See what that person is working with. See what the person has in their hand to work with before you say they are corrupt. Because the government, I will not accuse the government of corruption. I will not accuse anybody of corruption unless they catch somebody. Because I know that we don't have money. Can you imagine now? The $5 billion HPS was going to invest in our country. The president boasted about. You know that it's not coming anymore. The 200 million that are coming from these people here, how they call it, say, what may our budget to be? You know what they call in the legislature about to recast the budget? Because the 200 million that they supposed to pay, that were taking our money, our how they call it, say, our national budget to $1.2 billion. They are not paying that 200 million this year. So in economics, they call that how they call it, unrealized revenue or whatever it is. I just forget the terminology. Will come to me. So guess what? Now they're going to recast the budget because, like they say, Asala Meta will get 200 million. Asala Meta said we cannot provide 200 million in this year, so it will be spread over the year. So you see, they're coming to recast the budget to tell you say that $1.2 million that you're dancing about, it's coming to go to 800 million. That will be the national budget now. So you see what can happen because the financial resources, the fiscal space is tight. You cannot say somebody is corrupt. I will not look at the government and say they're corrupt because I know. Because of what I do know, I know that we didn't get much money in our country. People will see, okay, but we don't have much money in our country to do what we want to do. So you see, it is what it is. But people will jump in the money, they wash their hair, they finish eating their fat chicken, because I can say the frozen chicken. They come and say CDC government was the most corrupt government. But guess what? See what they are doing? Now, if you want to compare corrupt and not corrupt, look at what CDC has done and look at what this government has done. You will only see that we can say CDC are corrupt and we can say this government is corrupt, but how is the corruption going? How much do we have? Now, your budget, all that Jobo were doing. Oh, you see, the mega experience, the budget jumped to $1.2 billion. It's going back to 800 million because Asala Meta cannot give you the 200 million that they promised. So you see, we're going backwards.
No, I don't understand what you mean by somebody was jumping on.
Our forecast of budget was, I think, $9-something million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Asala Meta came and said, because we want a new concession, in bulk, we pay the government 200 million. So we added 200 million to the 9-something million, it came to $1.2 billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that budget is formulated, right? Let's say when the government have to build a budget, they say, okay, for all the containers that people bring, last year people brought 500 containers, right? So we assume that this year people will bring 500 containers again or more. So let's say plus or minus. Let's say we know that people will bring, because every year it can increase. Let's say people will bring 700 containers, right? And that 700 containers we can get, let's say we can get maybe 600 million from there, right? As revenue, right? Then we say people, the things that we buy from the street, people that are importing goods in here and there. Let's say we get, 500 million from there, right? So from that, how do you call it? Something that maybe 800 million. Let's say 800 million. So now guess what? That's what they propose, right? So when they propose that, this how we get. Then Accelerator said we'll give you 200 million. So when they add the Accelerator 200 million there, it went up to 1.2 billion dollars. That why increase the whole budget, not because of Baka did any magic or a Gafwan or anybody did any magic. No,
anybody make magic. You just lay out how budgets formula. You just lay it out. So why was somebody saying that somebody wait for magic wand? No. That 200 million, if that's true now, because that George talking. So I've seen nothing about that. But just in case what you're saying is true, that money was available. That money, they told the government that money was going to be given to them. That's why it was part of the budget, right? Right? Or they just went.
Yeah, that's what it said. Yeah, that's what it said.
Exactly. So if they came back now and spending, how is that the government fault? Kind of like,
I didn't say the government fault. I'm not saying it's the government fault.
No, but because the way you said it, like somebody was saying
I'm just trying to tell you that we don't have the money because our revenue generation is very low.
It's spent on crazy stuff.
Because the reason is that
prepping themselves or making themselves so comfortable. Now, I'm not saying if you those professionals who are working in the government, they shouldn't get paid good money. That's not what I'm saying. But some of these so-called benefits are just ridiculous. Like what we were just talking about, domestic staff and all the one and then giving everything free. Cut it down, right? Why would somebody be getting something 3,000 out of a fuel or generator or something in that? No, that's not okay.
Okay, I mean. It was a good time here.
Yeah,
it was good that we had a really frank discussion. I admire that we can have a very respectful discussion about our country. We both want the better for our country. The only difference is our spectrum. Where do we stand with that progress? I stand with different direction, you stand in different direction. It's like standing on opposite sides and looking at 6 in the middle. I would say it's 9. You say 6. You know what I mean? And I would say yeah. So it is just our perspective. When somebody bring a glass in front of us and put water in it, and you can look at it and say it's half full. I wouldn't say it's half. You know what I mean? We are saying the same thing, but just from different lenses. You know what I mean? So it is just what it is.
It's not the same thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can take that one to the bank. I'm not going to argue about it. Two people are never the same. They will have differences. They will have differences. What are that differences is in terms of one is better than the other. That's an argument for another day. But those two people are completely different people. They have two different ideologies. And so it is. So we're not here to compare them. We're here to compare their impact on Liberia. I think Georgia's impact on Liberia is very. I'm looking forward to the 6 years of President Boakai to compare the 6 years of President Weah on Liberia, because I stand to an area where I want to look at them with a balanced mindset and look at it and see what the differences are. And when that happens, then of course 2029 we're going to sit around the table and decide. Say, look, this is what this government has accomplished. This is what the previous government has accomplished. And what are the obstacles that they were faced with? One had COVID-19, and they had the war in Ukraine. Ukraine is the biggest producer of grain, which is wheat, rice, blah 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 blah. Right. So we had issues with rice importation, blah blah blah. Now we have for this government. We had the war in the Middle East, which is
Ukraine.
Ukraine produces 20% of the world grain.
How many bags of rice are coming from Ukraine to Liberia before the war?
Okay, so I mean, the thing is that they produce, when they say 20%, I mean 80%, right, of the world grain does not come from there. So guess what now? What can happen is that
No, I'm talking
if
about
20%,
specifically Liberia,
yeah,
importing
no,
rice
no,
from Ukraine.
yeah. So Amy, here's the thing now. The difference is that because the 20% is short, like now, everybody will say how much oil was Tehran or Iran producing in the world. You know what gasoline how to get now? Is that because we're not buying oil from Tehran or Iran? We're not buying oil from them because
they're blocking the strip from the ship and passing that carry those things.
that's not all to it. They were still
That's
selling
the
oil to
major one
China.
that impacting everybody because the
Yeah, but
strip is
hold on
blocked.
now. Yeah, hold on. I mean, I want to say that's not the only one. I'm not saying it's not part of it. So I said that's not only the reason why we are now facing problem is that mind you, they had sanctions on them, but they were still selling oil to China, right? China was still buying that oil. So the other oil that China saw to buy to import in their country, they were getting it from them. So they were not taking part of the 80% that we were getting, right? But now, because that is stopped, China now has to buy from other people. So that oil that's all to go to Liberia, it might go to China. And China is the biggest consumer now for oil in the world, in the entire world. They consume more oil than anybody. So if that portion is divided now, like when they say they give $100 to us, and when they give the $100, you can figure it out. But when somebody add there, let's say Zeze can add there, you're not going to figure it out again anymore, right? So you see that your share will be cut up, my share will be cut up, right? So you see, the more people that want that 80% now, we divide now, and not insufficient again because we got to divide it easier. So that's what caused these things. So when we look at the economic spectrum, we see that okay, this is why the government was faced with this, what the government faced. Then let's see on the scale of 10, what has this person done? Then we can decide. But thank you very much. It was a wonderful time with you.
The way you're saying it, that's how you can decide on it. But no, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be all about CDC and Judge Weir. I know you.
Okay.
From the time
I hope you are wrong. I hope you are wrong, but it is what it is.
How this person is something is always about Judge Weir and CDC. So all that flip flop flow, what Papa said, jumbo, you talking? It's not only water here. So
you're going to remove Jaga Koroba in there, so we don't go for it. You're calling let you buy and get it on. I know how many millions they can get it when they come back. Say I know $2.5 million. $2.5 million for 2 weeks. You're getting $2.5 million for them to remove you again.
We're not talking about removing Yeke because he's talking about being according to vocal. No, we're talking about removing Yeke because of what he did. Yeke's statement has been one of the statements that the people in Guinea are using their own lawmaker and something. He's a certain lawmaker for goodness sake. That is not Bouaka House we were talking about. He needs to be when he starts in the country when nobody hearing him, he feel like he had to make noise so people to hear him. You should know where to make noise.
So how you know?
Judge, we are talking about Liberia. We're not talking about Judge Weir. We know everything about that's what I said right now.
Hey, come on.
Is Judge Weir. But how many you see Yaga causing Bouaka 24/7? Who can get time for him? Bouaka, his wife, his whatever. Who got time for Yaga? We're talking about Liberia. What he said when another country from an outside folks is infringing on your sovereignty, and you as a freaking lawmaker, so-called lawmaker, the position you're supposed to take, that's not what he did. That's what we're talking about. We don't give a damn about you. We're talking about, like I said, we're talking about Liberia.
Children watching the show. Use PG language. Children watching the show.
Judge Weir. And he did it to Judge Weir. And he used to do it to Judge Weir. The thing he used to say to Judge Weir, he never said it to Bouaka before. That's not what we like. It can cause Bouaka for not the judgment. I don't give a damn. But we're talking about a different country.
Did he lie?
He lied.
What he said, was it a lie?
Well, his history.
But they tell Guinea to move on the land if he lied. It doesn't mean anything.
You believe that Guinea has that land too? Do y'all know your history? Before y'all and say something like that, Yeke is a lawmaker. So if you're gonna stay here, this is not. See, we're not talking about CDC here. We're talking about Liberia here. Put your CDC cap aside because you think that he was doing it to Bouaka. No, you are not doing it to Bouaka. You are not. That is not Bouaka House. We're talking about. We're talking about Liberia. So when it's time to play your inner politics, you play it when it's time to play. When you're finished dealing with the outside folks, You come and play your inner politics and do whatever and say whatever you want to say to each other. But when it comes to you standing up for your country against somebody else, you're supposed to be firm as a lawmaker. Not making treason statement like that, and then you talking about then people using it as a example or evidence of what it that BS that they got going on. Then you sitting here talking about, oh, but ain't he did it to George Weah? What I got to do with George Weah? This is what this thing that made me so sick about CDC, because everything is just, even when they're talking about the country, nobody's talking about a politician yet. When they're talking about the country, y'all try to put George Weah in it. Then when we're talking about George Weah, I say, oh, George Weah is not the president now. But y'all want his name to be in every conversation. And it's sad. Y'all should know when to play politics. Y'all and the Yege, nobody give a damn what a Yege Fosi or Joe Bugger from now to judgment. I don't care. But what he did, he needs to be impeached. That's what needs to happen. He's not fit to be a lawmaker for that comment that he made. He was never fit anyways. He has been exposed a long time ago, but he was there because he had not committed any crime to be impeached. But this is a crime against his country, so he needs to be impeached.
Where's the crime?
Okay.
Where's the crime? Where's the crime, please?
I just said it. If
you're
listening, you will hear it. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I just said it.
Have a wonderful day.
Like a record.
Our listeners, thank you for joining us. It was a nice time being with you guys, and hopefully we learn from each other, because I kept looking at the comment section and Fixed Electronics. You've been very active there. We want to thank you for always joining us.
AI, you always coming.
I know AI. That's somebody that AI. And Williams Jala 5122. Want to thank you for joining us. And guys, it was a wonderful time we spent with you. Hopefully we can and say, George, please get off the show. Okay, honestly, and go bury your head in shame and stop defending the CDC. 6 years failure. Yeah, because the 3 years of current administration.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I know. My people are getting blind. My people are getting blind.
Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you all for always shooting our little humble platform and coming to listen to us, right? I don't even know what to say, platform. So thank you so much. Continue to share the show, and we will be back here, God's willing, when tomorrow. If we can make it. If there's nothing, I'm always caught up, y'all. Yeah, like I said, pray for me. When I started the show, that's why I told you. I got so much going on, and I need,
really, Amy?
Yes, pray for me, and I know Stone.
I'm praying for you too.
Yeah, thank you. It's doing it a phase, and it's gonna be, over soon. But nevertheless, we love Liberia, Mama Liberia. So we always want to come and have a little chit chat, about it. So, well, with that being said, we say good night to you, and George is just having his day. It's not good night for him.
Yeah, not good night for him. Yeah. Good day. Yeah.
Thank you all for watching.
What time is it now?
That's
It's 3:12 on